right now, if you go on the street, I actually did this. I went in Honolulu down to the street where all the tourists go. And I put on a tie and I had a clipboard and I did an opinion survey. Good afternoon, sir. I want to do an opinion survey about what you think about yoga. You know, so then I would ask all these questions. Well, how long have you known about yoga? Where did you hear it from? Do you practice yoga? Did you ever teach yoga? Da, 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 da. And in the middle there, someplace, I would say, and what about the Hare Krishnas? Right? And I got a uniform negative opinion of the Hare Krishnas from just about every single person that I contacted, over 90%. So that was when I realized, this was back in 2002. That was when I realized we cannot promote our mission as a Hare Krishna thing. So I decided, I'll use the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the Dvadasaksha mantra, which is just as good as Hare Krishna. Almost as good. It's good enough to start with anyway, huh? Compared to where most people are at, it's really good. So, you understand? I'm not changing the teaching. They're accusing me of changing the teaching. I had to do that. It was a practical necessity because 90% of intelligent adults would reject us immediately if I had used the Hare Krishna brand. We still chant Hare Krishna. We still teach Hare Krishna, Maha Mantra, and all that, if you're following the regulative principles. And that's another thing, and there's quotes in Prabhupada's books that state this. If you're not following the regulative principles, if you're not educated in this esoteric teaching of the Vedas, don't chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Chant some other mantra that's less demanding of purity and so on. So we're teaching like that. We're following Prabhupada's teaching. But these other devotees don't want to recognize. Therefore, they're giving us so many problems. They won't let us publish our articles. They won't let us promote our books or teachings on their sites. So this is a big problem between me and my god brothers. And I think it's an irresolvable problem. I don't see any way to, because we're not going to change our understanding. We understand Prabhupada's books. And they think they understand Prabhupada's books. Then why are they changing them? See, they actually think they know better than Srila Prabhupada. They actually think like that. That Srila Prabhupada, he's a nice old man from India, but we know better. No. They don't understand that Srila Prabhupada is Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means he was born in perfect Krishna consciousness. He was never in Maya. He was never in illusion. Who else in this world, at 5 years old, produced a complete Jagannath Rath Yatra festival in his neighborhood? At 5 years old. It was his idea. Of course, his parents helped him like that. But still, Srila Prabhupada, his symptoms from the very beginning of life were those of a very advanced, exalted devotee. So we can't think that Srila Prabhupada is like us. He was never a conditioned soul, at least not in this lifetime. He was Nitya Siddha, and that's a special category of a spirit soul who is enlightened from birth. All of us, if we attain Krishna consciousness, are called sadhana siddha. Means we attain Krishna consciousness by some sadhana, some work on ourselves. But Srila Prabhupada was always like that. I mean, he performed sadhana to show a good example. But he didn't need to perform sadhana. In Vedanta Sutra, where it talks about the qualities of the self-realized soul, it's that he can perform spiritual activities if he likes, but he doesn't have to. Why? Because he already has the result of those activities. If my car is nice and clean, why should I wash it again? There's a man down the street here in this village who has a red truck, and he washes this truck every day. Whether it's clean or not, doesn't matter. He washes and polishes his truck every single day. Why? It's useless work. It's not going to hurt his truck if it has a few rain spots on it or something. Huh? So the self-realized soul, that if he likes, if it pleases him, he can perform sadhana. But if his service is so much that he doesn't have time or he doesn't have the inclination, that's all right. He doesn't have to. He's not going to forget Krishna. Once you attain Krishna consciousness, you don't ever forget it. You don't ever lose it. Why? Because it's eternal. Everything that's spiritual is eternal. Huh? Bhagavad Gita 2:16. What is that verse? Do you know that verse?
Of the things that are existent, there is no cessation. Those that are non-existent, there is no endurance. The seers of truth have.
Seers have determined this. Yes. How?
They know the nature of both.
They know the nature of both. They know the nature of the material energy, and they know the nature of the spiritual energy. The material energy is always temporary. It's always changing. It's always going through some transformation. But the spiritual energy is eternal, without beginning or end. Always the same. So when you realize the spiritual energy, your consciousness is on that spiritual platform. That means no change. No transformations. All transformations finished. Because you have the ultimate transformation, which is back to the original consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada never had to perform any sadhana. He was always in exalted spiritual consciousness. He didn't have to go through any process to get that way. So when Srila Prabhupada sometimes joked, or sometimes was sarcastic, or sometimes to prove a point, he would do something like, one time the devotees were on the train in India. And it was like their first time in India. Yeah. So they were all excited and they were talking a little bit nonsense. And so Prabhupada started examining the latches on the window. And then he began to talk to his devotee. Just see, this latch is so cleverly designed. You move it this way, and simply by the shape of this thing, then it catches on that, and it closes the window, and like that. And the devotees are all going like, what is this? You know? But Prabhupada was showing that every moment you should apply your intelligence to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Don't sit and talk nonsense. Because if you don't have it, then your first priority should be to get it. Your first priority should be to do the sadhana and get the understanding, and then do the practice and get it. So he was showing, don't waste a moment, and be curious about how things work. He was giving example by his own personal behavior. He did that a lot. The devotees didn't understand. They thought that he should always be giving precepts. But actually, by his example, he gave so many teachings. I remember being in Vrindavan just a few months before Prabhupada left his body. And my service had been to arrange programs for Srila Prabhupada to go and preach every day, or 2 or 3 times a week, whenever he wanted. So I would go around to different villages and set up these programs. And then at some point, Srila Prabhupada got so sick that he stopped doing that. And I didn't have any service, so I came back to the temple. And every morning, Prabhupada would give Bhagavatam class. So I had some intuition that Prabhupada was close to leaving this world. Well, actually, his sister told me. And I was thinking, well, now He's about to leave this world, so he's finally going to give the secret, you know, the big secret, right? So he's giving class, and I'm there like, you know, oh, now he's going to talk about the advanced teachings, right? So what does he give class on? You're not your body. You are not this body. Bhagavad Gita 2:13. You know that verse? As the soul passes from childhood to youth to old age in this body, similarly the soul passes to another body at the time of death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by this change. He gave class on that verse. So what is advanced and what is